large tornado being reported near Jacksboro. This is at least a wedge tornado that's on the ground and towards central Jack County that is moving to the northeast at a good clip at around 35 to 40 miles per hour. And also this storm as well is producing some quarter-sized hail and a lot of lightning strikes that are happening with this storm, especially on the northern fringes of the storm. You can see how it is starting to have a little bit of an arc, a little bit of a kind of a common class shape of what's happening with this storm because it is rotating, moving out to the northeast at a good clip. Once again, the velocity product showing you what's happening with this storm. The rotation has now moved at least away from Jacksboro, now on the eastern side of Jacksboro into the east. So you folks into the east of this area, make sure you're in a safe place with those tornado safety tips. And once again, Vince and everyone, this is part of that same storm system. Not only do we have this cell that's producing that tornado warning in Jack County, but we have numerous severe thunderstorm warnings extending all the way down into the big country. And earlier, we had a tornado warning that was issued to the southwest of San Angelo. Meanwhile, off to the west of us, including you folks in the Jack County, you're under a severe thunderstorm watch in effect until 10 p.m. This includes Jacksboro, Mineral Wells, Stephenville, down toward Comanche, as well as Eastland, and right along the Red River, extending to the northwest. We have a flood watch in effect until 9 a.m. into your Sunday morning. Now, the reason for all this severe weather, we have a cold front that's sloshed across North Texas. Ahead of it, we're dealing with temperatures into the 70s, but behind it, we're dealing with temperatures into the 60s. The collision of those air masses causing the severe weather to happen. So here's that futurecast as we travel toward 10 p.m. Notice the line of showers and storms, what we call periods or rounds of showers and storms moving in from the west to the east. Right now, it appears most of this will be to the north of Fort Worth and Dallas. And then at 1 a.m., there's another line that's right along the Red River, but take a look at what's happening well to the west of us. That would be the final cusp of the rainfall. But notice as it moves toward Fort Worth and Dallas, it will start to weaken in intensity as we travel toward your Sunday morning at around 7 to 8. So that area, including Jacksboro, where you have that tornado warning, you're under a level 3 risk for severe weather. That's an enhanced risk, but everyone else, including Fort Worth and Dallas, is under a level 2. Therefore, we see the potential for, yes, some tornadoes, flash flooding, large hail, and even a threat for some damaging winds. We want everyone into the morning hours to stay weather aware. Now, beyond that, I have some good news. We will start to clear it out as we travel into your Sunday afternoon with some sunshine returning across the area. Let's get to those temperatures, 50s and 60s. We'll see those afternoon highs with some sunshine into the 70s and even warmer into the upper 70s to lower 80s as we travel in toward Monday. And speaking of next week, the rain chances will go up again to around 60% for Wednesday and Thursday, down to 50% and toward next Friday. Now, that 5 to 10 day forecast once again shows a clearing out for your Sunday afternoon, and then it looks pretty nice into Monday, but the rain chances return for next week. And then, of course, we'll start to clear it out as we travel toward next week. And we're expecting nothing but dry conditions across the area. But we're going to go back toward that tornado warning that's in effect for you folks in toward Jack County. Once again, until 6:30 for about another 10 minutes or so. Just trying to look over my gauge to see if we have any updates of what's happening with this tornado. Right now, of course, that tornado did cross U.S. Highway 380 with multiple at least, as I said, it is a wedge tornado. Right now, it is east of Jacksboro to the north of Highway 380. So it is back in this vicinity, moving to the east of Jacksboro, lifting to the northeast between around 30 to 40 miles per hour right now, but still moving away from Jacksboro. But still, you folks in towards central Jack County, make sure you're in a safe place and know your tornado safety tips as this storm continues very dangerously to rotate with that tornado that's on the ground. That's down to the east of Jacksboro to the north of Highway 380. You see all the lightning strikes that are happening with that storm that's racing off to the northeast at a good clip at 30 to 40 miles per hour. So at least the spotters have been reporting, Vince and everyone, that this tornado is on the ground. Multiple vortices moving away, at least it's crossed over the highway, and that's some good news now. It's moving toward the folks away and toward Jacksboro. But let's go back toward the velocity procs to show you what's happening with that storm. Once again, as I showed you earlier, As you called me at the beginning of the newscast, I was showing that we had a broad rotation with the storm system. It started to tighten up and then finally produced a funnel, went all the way to the ground and producing a tornado. And finally, we have a tornado that is on the ground now to the north of Highway US 380, that is now moving to the northeast at around 30 to 40 miles per hour. So I hope you folks in toward Jack County know your safety tips and what you need to do as this continues to move away. We get out of this product and then we're going to track this cell to show you we're expecting the central rotation of this storm to continue to move as it continues to move toward the northeast at a good clip. The center of the rotation, I'm going to track this at around 30 to 35 miles per hour. And we're tracking the area of rotation around this storm system right to the east of the area. And I'm going to track this. So hopefully you folks over toward Condiff at 6:37, sunset at 7:06. So once again, Condiff at 6:37, sunset at 7:06. This is a confirmed tornado that is on the ground that's moving to the northeast at between 30 to 40 miles per hour. This will be in the extreme eastern sections of Jack County, and eventually will start to move up toward extreme northwestern sections of Wise County as you make your way toward Montague County. So be advised, this is a tornado warning still in effect for another 8 minutes. Right now, we're just getting hopefully get some photos in. We're just waiting on what the National Weather Service is saying here, but spotters are out now to the northwest of Dallas-Fort Worth getting the reports. What is happening with this rotation is this tornado that is now affecting you folks over in toward Jack County. As I said, this is part of the storm system. As I broaden this out, we have that tornado warning that's now to Jack County for about another, 7 minutes or so. And then we have another severe thunderstorm warning that's just been issued. Now, this is for Young County until 7:15. This storm now is producing some pea-sized hail and some wind gusts up to around 60 miles per hour. It, too, is moving off to the northeast between 30 to 40 miles per hour. And you see all these lightning strikes extending well back to the west and southwest. We have more showers and storms that are beyond our radar sight, but shows you that it's becoming very active along our frontal boundary, well off to the west of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But the main story of significance is that tornado warning that's in effect for you folks into Jack County. As we zoom in toward the velocity products to show you what is happening with the rotation with that storm system as it continues to move to the north of US 380. And the National Weather Service is about to issue a brand new tornado warning. This will now include you folks over toward, I'm going to broaden this velocity products out. As I was tracking that toward you folks in toward Condiff and Sunset, this new warning will include northwestern Wise County, also for you folks into southwestern Montague County. And you see this is Lake Amon Carter and buoys up here. So you folks in the buoy, take heed of this, as well as Lake Amon Carter, also Condiff, Sunset, because this area of rotation, the tornado, is moving your way from the southwest to the northeast between 30 to 40 miles per hour. Just waiting on that tornado warning to be issued. And here we go. Yeah, there we go. This funnel is roping out to the northeast of Jacksboro, and we have the brand new tornado warning now in effect for southern Montague, northwestern Wise, and northeastern Jack counties now until 7:15. This storm is now moving to the northeast at 45 miles per hour. So I'm going to do my new tracker on this and increase the speed of this sail as it continues to move toward the northeast with the area of rotation. But I want to say, once again, it's going to be in that area, as I said, from Condiff extending over toward Bowie and toward Lake Amon Carter, Sunset, as you make your way and toward Montague County, extreme northwestern sections of Wise County. You see the area of rotation that's down toward the southwest, that to the north of Highway 380. And reports of that funnel that's now just roping to the north and northeast of folks in toward Jack County. And that's about it with that tornado warning. But once again, Vince and everyone, this is, like I say, a part of that storm system that's we talked about. And you see how the color, I want to show everyone this. Earlier, we had a red color. that was a Doppler indicated tornado signature, but now it has changed to a purple color, which means that there's a tornado that's confirmed, that's on the ground. So this is a very dangerous situation that's happening for you folks in toward northeastern Jack, at least in toward the northwestern, at least Wise County, and southwestern Montague County. This system is moving your way with a confirmed tornado that is on the ground once again, and that's off to the northeast of Jacksboro. So you folks in toward Condiff, as you make your way towards Sunset, Lake Amon Carter, over toward Bowie, make sure you're in a safe place. I'm going to get those tornado safety tips back up to show you of what you need to do in this area. And this tornado warning is in effect until 7:15 for you folks. And here go those warning safety tips of what you need to do. Moving into an interior room of your home, stay away from those windows. Once again, make sure you get out of a mobile or manufactured home, as well if caught outside, find a low-lying area and move away from that. Once again, the storms that are off to the west, we continue to monitor those because they could also produce a tornado as well. Of course, we have the tornado warning that's now in effect for Jack, Montague, and Wise counties that are highlighted now in the purple color, which means it is a confirmed tornado. But as I change gears and focus the radar a little bit more outward to show you what is out there, and there you go. You see how all this extends well off to the west and the southwest. And all this activity is moving toward you folks into especially the western counties of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But right now, the main focus is on that tornado warning. That's in effect for Jack, Wise, and Montague counties until 7:15. But some of these cells, too, especially the one that's now been issued, at these severe thunderstorm watch that's been issued for Young County, it, too, could produce a tornado as we travel toward the evening hours. But let's zoom back toward the velocity products on our storm as it continues to move toward the northeast. And once again, you start to see the area of tight rotation that's happening across northeastern Jack County and this area. Now, this is well to this is U.S. Highway 380, so it's to the north of that, but it continues to truck on to the northeast between 30 to 40 miles per hour. As I said, you folks in the Condiff, make sure you're in a safe place. Lake Amon Carter, Sunset, extending over toward the Bowie, which is off to the north of that, right along the U.S. Highway 287. Make sure you're in a safe place. And there are also a lot of subdivisions in this area. This is Lake Bridgeport here. So I have a feeling that hopefully if you're heeding my call, make sure once again you're in at least a safe place as this rotation continues to move your way. Looking over at the, okay, right now, folks, we're now at 6:29. We're coming up on 6:30 to get you what's happening. As I go back, we have a tornado warning that's in effect for Jack, Wise, and Montague counties. It went from the red color you see here, which means it was a Doppler indicated radar, now to a purple color, which means it is a confirmed tornado that is on the ground that's now in toward northeastern Jack County. It is moving to the northeast between 30 to 40 miles per hour. You see all the lightning strikes are happening on the north side of this storm system. During the beginning of our 6 o'clock show, I showed the area of rotation that this storm was indeed rotating, and indeed it did now finally produce a tornado warning. And that's the case of what is happening. As we go toward the velocity products to show you the area of rotation, you see right now, I'm going to go a little bit further, move it a little bit to show you that the area of rotation has indeed, thankfully, moved off to the north. This is Jacksboro right here. It's now moved well off to the north and east of Jacksboro. But you folks in the Condiff, it is always moving right on top of you, and this is moving toward, this is the county line here, and here's the other county line. This is Wise County, and then of course this is Montague County. So it's moving in that vicinity as you make your way toward Lake Amon Carter, also toward Sunset, and also in toward Montague County as well. As I go back to the velocity products to show you, now I would say some better news is now it's now back to a radar indicated tornado, but still broad rotation with this storm system. So the good news, I want to explain that means in the upper levels is a broad rotating very broadly in the upper levels of the atmosphere, like we had it at the beginning of the newscast. So which means that there's not a confirmed tornado or funnel that is now being seen by our spotters. So that's some good news, but still that tornado warning for you folks over toward the northeastern Jack County, Wise County, as well as Montague County, still take heed with those tornado safety tips because this storm system is still rotating and still could produce a funnel or a tornado. So take heed with that. Once again, that tornado warning is in effect until 7:15. So I'm going to track this as it continues to move to the northeast, now at 45 miles per hour, broaden it out to show you what's happening. And also want to show everyone in relation, I know there's a lot of colors here on your screen, but this is back toward Dallas-Fort Worth. Now, this is well away from this. Now, the reason we're seeing these different colors is because of the winds that are going toward and from our radar site. That's why you're seeing the different colors. Now, of course, this wind is going away from the radar site, and you see how all these winds are changing different colors. They're going toward, away, and toward the radar site, which means you're starting to see the area of rotation that's happening in toward northeastern Jack County. I explain those colors because the folks are probably saying it looks like a rainbow or something like that. But zoom back toward Jack County to show you right now what's happening with this storm as we continue to track it, at least the area of rotation, the broad area of rotation, and once again moving in that same area to the northeast, affecting Condiff as at least right now at 6:34, Lake Amon Carter at 6:51, and Montague at 7:12. We'll go back to the queue to see what's happening with any reports. Now we're getting reports of a tornado on the ground at Highway 59 and FM 1810. Let me remove this and try to find that area on my map to show you what we're talking about. That tornado is on the ground. Okay, here's Highway 59. So it has to be, you go so far in, but this is Highway 59 here. It's going from the south to the north, and here's Condiff, as I said, in that area. So it's going to be in this vicinity. We now have a tornado that's on the ground right now at Highway 59, and let me go back toward FM 1810. Once again, that is northeastern Jack County. So now we have it confirmed. As I said, these storm systems, Vince and everyone, they go through processes. They have a broad rotation, then they produce a phone, then they drop a tornado, then they go back into the sky, and then they do the same process all over again. So this is what this storm system is doing. Right now we have a confirmed tornado that is on the ground. This is Highway 59 and FM 1810 and toward northeastern Jack County. Once again, you folks in the Condiff, also Lake Amon Carter, extending up toward Bowie, make sure you're in a safe place as this storm system continues to move your way between the northeast at around 30 to 40 miles per hour. Change gears and go back toward the other products, and you still see, as I take the lightning strikes off, they get kind of distracted of what's happening with what's going on with the storm. But the color is that pink purple color, which means we have a confirmed tornado that is on the ground, unlike the red colors that you normally see. And this is really what you don't want to see, at least across North Texas, this purple color. But once again, here is the storm right here, and you start to see this little hook area, and you start to see how it kind of bows out a little bit in the hook area. This is moving off once again to the northeast at around 30 to 40 miles per hour, and this is producing that confirmed tornado right along Texas Highway 59 and FM 1810. So once again, and the sirens are going off. I'm trying to get this in my ear and Bowie. That is a good thing that the sirens are now going off in Bowie because this storm, I hope they're going off as well in Sunset. Also, we have Albert here. This is a highway, US Highway 287, driven that many times, going toward Wichita Falls and Amarillo. But you folks in Bowie, the sirens are going off. Sunset, you too need to take shelter, as well as you folks along Lake Amon Carter, because this cell producing a tornado is moving your way to the northeast between 30 to 40 miles per hour. Once again, let's get that tracker on there to show you what we're talking about with this storm as it continues to move off toward the northeast. As I try to get these products off of here. Once again, as I said, this storm was producing, at least was rotating earlier, and now has produced that tornado. So I'm going to track the area of rotation as it continues to race off toward the northeast. Once again, now this is just an area. Now just don't focus on this line. I mean, the storm could veer more toward this way over here toward Bowie, or it could veer back toward Alvord. So just be advised of that. This is just the line. But still, you folks from Bowie all the way down toward Sunset, Alvord, extending toward Lake Amon Carter, make sure you're in your safe place, because this storm system that's moving to the northeast is moving your way. As I said, the sirens are going off and toward southwestern Montague County into Bowie. Also, I have a feeling they are going off and toward northwestern sections of Wise County, as well as across northeastern Jack County. Any updates? And we're trying to get our spotters out there checking out with the outdoor sirens that are going off. And of course, the last report we had was that this tornado was on the ground near Highway 59 at FM 1810. Which means that you're starting to still see the area of rotation as I move the velocity products. And once again, we're focusing on where all these winds come together. We have the winds that are going to and from and away from our radar site. And it's in this area where you have all these different colors that are kind of mixing together, where we're seeing that area of rotation that's now happening right along Highway 59. This is Conduff, and once again, that's why the sirens are going off back toward Bowie, which is under that banner. This is Lake Amon Carter, Sunset. I have a feeling you also should be taking heed as this storm system is moving your way. So once again, this is into northeastern Jack County. That warning will continue until 7:15. Now we're going to be holding with you here throughout the evening until this tornado warning expires, because this is moving towards some populated areas off toward the northwest of us. Once again, as I broaden this back out to show you what's happening with our storm system, once again, we have that purple color, which is showing you that we do have a confirmed tornado that is on the ground. As I broaden this out, we have more. Let me count them if I can get towards the map. Now, this pink color here under this banner, that's our tornado warning. But we have what? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 severe thunderstorm warnings well off toward the southwest of us. Now, this is into the big country, which means it's still about a couple of hours away to reaching our western counties. But the forecast models have been showing this consistently, what's going to be happening with this, because we actually have a frontal boundary that's off to the west of us, and the collision of those air masses are causing these showers and storms to pop up. And that's why we're seeing this severe weather event happening off to the west of us. But eventually, this will start to coalesce more into a squall line as we travel toward later this evening and toward the overnight, and this will eventually make its way into the Dallas-Fort Worth area as we travel early into your Sunday morning. But the good news is that it will start to dissipate as it makes its way into the Dallas-Fort Worth area, because we really want to have the ingredients later this into the overnight for a severe weather event across the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But still, we could see some small hail as well as some damaging winds when it does reach into Fort Worth and Dallas. But the main focus that's happening now, hopefully you folks into Bowie, over towards Sunset, Alvord, Lake Amon Carter. This tornado warning still in effect until 7:15. It is moving your way. Those outdoor sirens are going off and toward southwestern Montague County. Make sure you're in a safe place. Once again, let's get the tracker on to show you as this storm moves your way. It is moving to the northeast at 45 miles per hour, which means it is moving at a good clip. We take the lightning strikes off to show you what's happening with our storm as it continues to progress your way. And we're going to focus more on the area of rotation, which is more toward the south and west of our storm system. And once again, take it from a grain of salt. I have this line, but once again, this could veer more toward the north, which is Bowie right here. And you have Lake Amon Carter, which is right dead in the center. And then you have Alvord, which is on the side here. So you see the times on your screen. Lake Amon Carter at 6:48, Sunset at 6:57. If it holds together, St. Joe, they're at 7:23. But still, you folks toward Bowie, extending all the way down toward Alvord, make sure you're in a safe place. Once again, let's get to those tornado safety tips to show you what we're talking about. What you need to do in the area: move out of an interior room of your home, stay away from those windows, get away from those manufactured and mobile homes, and if called outside, find a low-lying area and stay put. And also, it's a good idea to make sure, hopefully you did download our app to show you what's going on with this situation that's happening off to the north and west of us. But the main story, we're still dealing with the rotation, and it still looks very prominent off to the into northeastern Jack County. Right here, it looks like it's following Highway 59, and that's why we had to report earlier, right along Highway 59 and FM with 1810. That's in northeastern Jack County. This is moving toward, you see all these black lines, that's the county line. There's another county line there. So northeastern Jack County, southwestern Montague County, and then you have coming out of Wise County about right here. But it looks like this is going to be going on a beeline about right here, Lake Amon Carter. Here's Bowie, and here is Sunset. There's Albert back over here. Looks like Albert, it looks like it'll pass off toward the north of you. But if you have loved ones that are traveling right now along up toward US Highway 287, they're making their way toward Bowie. Maybe you have some loved ones that are going between Wichita Falls and Fort Worth. It's a good idea to give them a call and say it's a no-go right now, at least for another couple of hours, because this storm is moving to the northeast at around 35 down to 45 miles per hour with that broad rotation. Once again, it's Condiff. I still hope you're in a safe place as well. This storm system is still affecting you. But here we go. Here's another update for everyone. We're about to get a brand new tornado watch that's going to be issued for areas to the northwest and north of the Metroplex. I have a feeling what they're going to be doing is, as I get out of this, because we do have a severe thunderstorm watch that's now in effect for areas off to the west of the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So I have a feeling that they probably will replace that severe thunderstorm watcher with a tornado watch, but right now it does not appear that this, I'm going to knock the severe thunderstorm watch up to show you what I'm talking about. This is a severe thunderstorm watch. Now, it does not include Fort Worth, Dallas, and majority of the Metroplex. It's off to the areas to the west, including Jack County, that's currently under that tornado warning. Palo Pinto, Erath, you get the story, back to the west. But I have a feeling this tornado watch will be about the same area. May include a little bit some further counties off toward the east of that, maybe Parker County, Wise County, over toward Montague and Cook County, but we keep an eye on that. But it's going to be coming out here within the next 30 minutes or so. But the main story, of course, is our tornado warning that remains in effect for you folks off toward Jack County, also into Wise and Montague counties until 7:15. And as you see now, I do have some better news. Now notice what has happened. We've now gone from the purple color, which means it was a confirmed tornado that was on the ground, back to a red color, which means it is a Doppler indicated tornado. That's what we want to see, which means there's still some rotation with this storm system, but I still have a feeling the sirens are still going off in towards Sunset, over toward Bowie, because this storm system is still rotating as it moves off to the northeast at around 45 miles per hour. That tornado warning does remain in effect until 7:15. And as I go back toward the velocity products, we're still dealing with that rotation. It is still very prominent. Off to the, as I have it zoomed in, this area right in here. There we go, right there. And here's Lake Amon Carter. Here is Bowie. Here is Sunset. These three areas, make sure you're in a safe place. Make sure you know your tornado safety tips and what you need to do, because this area of rotation is still moving your way. It could produce a tornado at any time. So make sure you're in a safe place. If you have loved ones that are right along Texas Highway 59, US Highway 287, also 101, extending down toward Texas Highway 101 as well. Make sure they're in a safe place, because there are a lot of homes that are out and about, especially around Lake Amon Carter. Once again, make sure they're in a safe place, because this broad rotation is still moving their way. No more updates once again. Yeah. As I say, these storm systems, these storms will pulse up and they pulse down. So the rotation is indeed increasing, because I'm seeing it on the S-band radar. It was becoming more broad, but now it's starting to intensify once again. And I'm going to put the tracker on that area as it continues to move off. I'm drawing it out a little bit more as it continues to move off towards the northeast at a good clip. I'm going to give a little bit of a more broader view just to get the whole area in there. And once again, as I said, right in that same vicinity, Lake Amon Carter, Bowie, Montague, even towards Sunset. This is about right there, almost along the county line. Make sure you're a safe place. You see Lake Amon Carter at 657, Bowie at 704, Montague at 718. Once again, moving to the northeast at that good clip at 45 miles per hour. So I have a feeling, everyone, that this color will probably change over if we get a confirmed report from a spotter. This color may change back from a red to a purple, which means it will be a confirmed tornado that is on the ground. But right now, this is a Doppler indicated tornado, and you still see how this little notch right here show you that this storm is indeed rotating as it continues to move off toward the northeast at a good clip at 45 miles per hour. And I have a feeling that those sirens are still going off in toward Montague County, at least around the Bowie area. And that rotation once again has increased as it continues to move off to the north and the east at 45 miles per hour, affecting right moving toward Lake Amon Carter. So I hope you folks are in a safe place. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more to see if there are any more communities in that area, but no, it appears no, just Lake Amon Carter, Sunset, and Bowie are in the path of this possible tornado, but area of rotation that's moving to the northeast at around 35 to 45 miles per hour. Okay, everyone, we're coming up, 6:47 to get you an update on what's going on as we approach 6:50. Once again, the top weather headline, if you want to call it that story, is this area that's in toward Jack County. It's highlighted into the red. It's been going between red and purple. Red means it is a Doppler indicated tornado. If it goes back to purple, it means there's a confirmed tornado that is on the ground. But thankfully, it's back toward red. But still, you folks moving into Montague County, that'll be southwestern Montague County, northwestern Wise County, and northeastern Jack County. We're tracking this potential tornado that is moving to the northeast at around 45 miles per hour. Take off the lightning strikes as well to be tracked this moving off toward the northeast. Get a broader view of what is happening with this and take the extra warning off as it continues to move off. And I'm tracking this area from the area of possible rotation. And you still see it's going to be in that area. It's going to be going back and forth depending if I'm zooming in or zooming out from the site, but mainly Lake Amon Carter, which is about right here. You have Bowie, which is right here, and then you have Sunset, which is about right here. You three areas, make sure you're in a safe place, and you still see that time on your screen. Lake Amon Carter at about 6:57, and if it holds together, St. Joe, that's well off toward the northeast, but that's right along U.S. Highway 82. That if it holds together, will be affecting you folks at 7:30, and that's actually making your way toward that's eastern sections of Montague County before you make your way over to Cook County. Let's go back toward the area of rotation, which is the velocity products, to show you we still have that area of tight, and I mean tight rotation that is still moving and toward the folks in the Lake Amon Carter. Right there, it's about to hit the county line. See this little notch here? That's the county line as you make your way to Montague County. This is Jack County. So it's moving in that vicinity. And then you have another county line. This is Wise County. So it's moving in that vicinity. This is State Highway 59. Of course, you have a Highway 287. So Bowie, Lake Amon Carter, Sunset's about right over here. Make sure you're in a safe place because this rotation is moving your way. We now have a brand new tornado watch. I'm going to get this up. I'm going to do this live on the air. It looks like this tornado watch has just been issued by the National Weather Service. And as I said, this watch now is in effect until midnight. It will start to replace some of that severe thunderstorm watch. So that I knock over my product here. Okay. And you're going to see how we do this off the cup. But this tornado warning is now in effect not until 4 a.m., but until midnight, which would be 12 a.m. And you start to see the counties that are highlighted into this. So really what is happening is we had a severe thunderstorm watch that was off further to the west of us. Now we have a tornado watch. As I said, we'll probably include a little bit of some county close to Dallas-Fort Worth, and indeed it includes now Parker, Wise, Denton, Cook, Grayson counties. On top of that, we have Montague, Jack, Palo Pinto counties. Once again, you're under a brand new tornado watch in effect until midnight this evening. This does not include Tarrant, Dallas, Collin counties. We're not under a tornado watch. Once again, this is off along the Red River and areas off to the west and northwest of that. This is in effect now until midnight. So that's some breaking weather to tell you about with that brand new tornado watch that's now in effect. On top of that, we're still dealing with our tornado warning for you folks now back toward Jack, Montague, and Wise counties. I'm trying to see if we get any updates on that. We're just still seeing that strong rotation, and I still have that good news is that we're still in that red color, and that's what we want to see, which means that it's not a confirmed tornado that's on the ground, just a Doppler indicated tornado. So we want to keep that red color. We don't want it to turn purple, right? But once again, it's still moving to the northeast at 35 to 40 miles per hour. You see all the lightning strikes up. It is an impressive light show that's happening, especially you folks in Decatur looking to the northwest, seeing this storm. By the way, the top on this storm, Vincent, everyone, is holding at about 45,000 feet plus. It's pretty impressive. And it's moving off once again to the northeast at a good clip. And once again, you folks in the buoy, make sure you are in a safe place. We're now starting to see as the broad area rotation. Okay, let me go back to what the velocity products. Now they're still talking about the rotation with this storm. And as I said, these storms go through processes. They pulse up, they pulse down, you know, and this is what's happened with this storm system. Earlier at 6 o'clock, we had a broad rotation, and it finally produced a funnel, and they dropped a tornado all the way ground. Then it went back up in the sky, and then we went from the purple color to the red color. Now it's still now back to at least tight rotation that is happening off toward at least Lake Amon Carter. And you can indeed see, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get another area of rotation because they also go through some significant changes as well. But once again, buoy, Lake Amon Carter, sunset. I keep saying the big three here. Make sure you're in your safe place because that rotation is moving your way. Once again, now about to cross the county line and toward Montague County. Now I do have the update. The area rotation is still, right there at the tip of Montague County, right along East Truce Road. So that would be about right here. That's right at the tip of the county line. This is Montague County. See this little, you can see this little black line here. Montague County, Jack County, Wise County. So there you go. But it's about to cross over in toward Montague County. Here's Lake Amon Carter. Here's Bowie. Here's this yellow line you see. This is Texas Highway 59. So it's about to still at least hug to the south and east of Highway 59, but once again moving up toward the Lake Amon Carter, which is about right here. And if it continues to hold on this path, it's moving to the northeast about right here, it will be moving up toward you folks and toward Bowie. And you see how that rotation area at least is now crossing over this county line out of Jack County and toward Montague County. So now we're trying to get a visual on what's happening with this possible rotation, but thankfully we're not getting any low-level rotation lowering at this time. That's why that color, as I denoted, has stayed red. As soon as this storm lowers back and touches the ground, we get a confirmation, then that would change back from a red to a purple color. That's what we don't want to see, and toward Jack County. But once again, let's go back toward the tracker to show you what's happening with this storm as it continues to move your way. As I take off these products, once again, this is moving toward the northeast at 45 miles per hour. Now, we're not going to be focusing on the heavy rainfall. I'm about to do a track. Now, the heaviest rainfall right now is occurring to the south of Bowie. You see right here, here's Highway 287, but the rotation is actually back here on the backside of the hook of this storm system. So I'm going to be tracking this area as it moves behind. Now, if actually you folks in the buoy, if it was a clear day, you probably can see the tornado anyway. If it was a tornado on the ground, it would be rain in your way. But I'm going to be tracking this within the next minute or so, less than that, to show you as it moves off towards the northeast at a good clip. So we're going to track the tail end of this storm system that has the area of rotation as it continues to move off towards the northeast. And even though it's only popping up Lake Amon Carter, it likes to pop that locale up at 7:04, still, Bowie, you're about right here. Make sure you're in a safe place. Sunset's about right here. Make sure you're in the same place, because this storm system could deviate either way, further north, further to the south. Don't take this single line and a grain of salt. Once again, you saw that last clip just showed you the storm has now moved, at least the area of rotation has now moved in toward Montague County. Let's go back to the key. All right. Yeah, we have now two areas of possible rotation. A large area of hail is now spreading into Bowie. Let's go toward the hail tracker to see what is happening with that. As I do this, show you what's happening with the hail core with this. And oh yes, I'm going to put it now on this. And you see there's a large hail core that is moving. Here we go. Sunset looks like this is passing off a little bit to the north of you. But
some showers already starting to pop up across North Texas as we brace for more rain.